We're live.
Bum, 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 bum.
Oh my god. Let's click out of that. What's up, buddy?
Well, just another good Wednesday. We are back at it.
Back at it again with the
Yeah.
white vans.
So we are live once again. Everyone, welcome back in. It's not my office. So I'm not going to do the intros.
Oh shit. Yeah. Welcome. We don't have a name for this place. The Fatatorium? Maybe? I mean, I am the fat fella himself, Matt Jones. With me, as always, is Jay Spoon, Josh Weatherspoon.
What's going on?
We are coming to you from Mount Stupid Studios, also known as the Fatatorium. And once again, it is the Arena of Audacity.
How many names is this place going to get?
Hella names. That's the thing. Okay, so you're aware of this. Mm-hmm. The audience may not be aware of this, but I bought a car recently.
Yes.
I bought a 74 Datsun 610. Mm-hmm. It's a 4-door sedan. Super excited about it. It's got the L20B motor. So for those of you that are in the know, you know it's a pretty cool motor. Pretty much runs. Has a little bit of work that needs to get done to it.
Okay.
It is sunshine yellow.
Yes.
And my wife wants to keep it sunshine yellow, and that confuses the shit out of me.
So we gonna put any stripes on it, or
she doesn't want stripes?
Decals? Nothing.
She doesn't want decals. She's got a Cricut, so we can make stuff to put on on the windows and stuff. But I don't know what to put on there.
I mean, of course you got to do like your YouTube thing.
I mean, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Especially if we get to 100 subscribers.
Oh God.
100 subscribers, we can get a custom URL.
What did I do?
Oh yeah, we're putting our Instagram on there. We're gonna look like all the Fast and Furious douchebags. But if I can remember what I was getting at, and I can't. Oh, that's what I was getting at. That car already has 3 names.
Okay.
All right, because it's yellow. It is Chiquita Datsun.
Okay.
All right.
Chiquita Datsun, sure.
Unofficially known as the Fatty Ratty. Because Datsuns, I'm learning, that you kind of hot rod out but don't make super clean are called Ratsons.
Okay.
All right. So you got the Fatty Ratty, you got Chiquita Datsun.
Yeah.
All right. And you've got the Fatson.
The Fatson?
The Fatson 610.
Okay.
Because I'm fat.
I mean, just like your office name, your vehicle now has multiple names as well, too.
Multiple names. Check out for it on YouTube and Instagram. It may show up on either one of those one of these days.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's a good way to start.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's a good segue into the night.
Evening? I don't know. I always say good morning.
I mean, it's still daytime. Like, the sun is still out,
it's
going to be out for another 2 hours here.
It is. Y'all can't see it, but yeah, the sun is out. Although if you look out your window, depending on what coast you're on, it could be daytime, could be nighttime. Mm-hmm. If you're watching this in Europe, good morning. If you're watching it in Asia, good tomorrow. If you're watching on the West Coast, though, good evening. I'm not gonna lie to you. It drives my wife crazy because she's picked up on it. And apparently my nephew has picked up on it as well. I only ever greet people with good morning. Because apparently I don't have the brain power to know what time of day it is and what that time is called.
Oh, Jesus. So you're saying that 4 p.m., I mean, up to 11:59 a.m. is morning. After that, it's afternoon because it's afternoon.
It's 5 a.m. somewhere, sir.
Jesus.
It is 5 a.m. somewhere. And in my head, it's always morning because that's the easiest thing for me to do. And it's a conversation starter, and I'm terrible at conversation starters.
Okay.
But yeah, also, okay. That raises another question for me, though.
Yeah.
When does the night become morning?
The night becomes morning. Well, technically, the night will become morning once it hits 12 a.m., technically, because that's the next day. That's the next morning, technically. But in my book, the night doesn't become morning until the sun rises. So until dawn.
Until dawn. So it's always... So if you woke up 2 a.m.
Yeah.
and somebody is entering your house, you greet them with good evening.
Well, first off, I'm not waking up at 2 a.m. for somebody to enter my house. That means that somebody's trespassing. And I'm gonna be like, "Oh, hey, good morning. What are you here to steal?"
Trespassers into the home of Spoon.
So, yeah, no, not
Okay.
I'll be up at that time probably, and if somebody came by, I'll be like, "Yo, what's up?" I don't even think it'll be like a good anything. It'll just be like, "What's going on?" Because at that point, it's the twilight hours. It's getting close to that 3 a.m. where the ghosts and whatnot live. So
okay, the Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Yeah, well,
the witching hour.
Yeah, the witching hour. No, but I got that from Amityville Horror. So what was the other one? Paranormal Activity and Poltergeist. Those are all of those.
Poltergeist?
Yeah.
You mean Poltergeist?
Look, whatever, dude. Poultry, ghost. Who cares?
The chicken geist?
Yeah.
It's a geist of chicken. El pollo geist.
Anyways.
So, and I asked that.
Somebody's fired up already. Because if you don't know, chat, the NFL schedule just came out today. So someone is fired up because they're already getting the rivalry started.
Oh man, because this is the thing too. As a Lions fan, this is when I'm allowed to be excited. Anyone who is a fan of a terrible team knows this. Leading up to the draft, it's depression. I'm in a depression spiral. There's nothing good can ever come of it. And if you listened last week, I'm excited for the Lions draft picks.
Okay.
Schedule coming out, 17 games, which means the Lions have the opportunity
to go 0-17.
To set history twice, is what you meant to say.
I mean,
by going 0-17.
Yes, there we go. They could be, well, see, and now they could be the first.
The first
to go 0-17.
Well, they were the first to lose 16 games in a season.
Now, wait, wasn't that the Creamsicle Buccaneers, or was that still a 14-game season?
That was a 12-game season.
Oh.
It was a 12-game season. Now, they hold the record for the longest losing streak, because I want to say they lost their first 22, 23 games in a row.
Wait, the Bucs or the Saints?
Buccaneers.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. In the old sombrero, they were a terrible, terrible team.
Okay.
Now, the Lions, though, regardless of their record,
regardless of the Kitna guarantees,
regardless of the Dan Campbell guarantees, they're gonna be kneecap biters. All right, and we went over that last week. So
yes,
if you don't know our opinions, go back. Not now, but go back, watch last week. You'll get our opinions. I won't be nearly as hyped, but I'm hyped now. And the schedule, though, I got a picture of this.
So the reason why the fat fella is so amped about this is because he's a Lions fan and I'm a Bears fan. So we get to have the pleasure of at least playing each other twice a year.
Minimum.
I mean, some of us make the playoffs. Some of us don't. But whatever.
I don't.
This year, however, the Bears and Lions play on my birthday and on Thanksgiving.
So
I'm sorry, no, it's okay. Meaning that both games are going to be watchable.
Mm-hmm. Because normally, and this is the thing that people don't understand, is in the Jones household, the Lions get shown guaranteed once a year. That's on Thanksgiving. It's usually a crushing defeat. It is what it is. Just know that I will be in a terrible mood. This year, I get to watch a minimum of 4 games. 4 games.
Are you
because
on 4 games for primetime?
4 games. No. No. Get 1 primetime game.
Oh, okay.
1 Thanksgiving game.
Yep.
Your birthday. And first week of the year.
Ah, yes.
In Detroit. In the Motor City. San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
And where we live, unfortunately, them assholes is local.
I mean, there's no closer team.
You're right. The Raiders are gone. And I get it.
But they're still showing the Raider game on CBS, I believe.
Because technically speaking, Northern California is still their area.
Stupid.
It is stupid. And
Aren't they the LA Raiders?
No, they're Vegas.
No, but what I'm saying is that didn't they come from Los Angeles first? Were
Technically,
they Los Angeles,
Oakland first.
Oakland, Los Angeles?
No, they were Oakland, LA, Oakland, Vegas.
No, they played in the Coliseum.
Yeah.
No.
When the LA Rams left. No.
They played LA, Oakland, LA.
No.
And then they came back to Oakland.
No.
And then they went to no. So they did LA, Oakland, LA. Then they played a few games in LA while they were in Oakland. And then they went to Nevada or Las Vegas. Anyways, whatever.
You know, I don't care enough to look it up. It's the fucking Raiders.
And your wives love when your teams play each other. Oh.
It is great, and you do love it, and you're being irrational. For those who don't know, that's how you're supposed to respond to your wife. You're supposed to tell her that she's being irrational. It makes her think rationally almost immediately.
Jesus.
So, yeah, first game, and I have 2 invites. Because I have an invite to your house, and I have an invite to my buddy Dan's house, because he shows all Niner games. And but I'm just saying, it's on between me and your wife. The Niners are going down. At very least, Jimmy Garoppolo is losing a kneecap.
Oh, my God. Wouldn't that help them out? Wouldn't Justin Field get on the field then?
Then you're welcome, San Francisco. I don't know what you want from me.
Whatever.
You're welcome. But yes, on your birthday, Detroit Lions at the Chicago Bears. Question, though, will you be muting the game at any point in time?
Wow. First off, that hasn't happened since Megatron was playing. So it's been, 6, 7? No, that was at my original house.
It was like 10 years ago.
So it was like 10 years ago.
I'm still holding on to that.
Jesus Christ,
I'm still holding on to that.
Let it go. It's been a decade.
For those unaware, you're about to be aware. Went over to this man's house to watch the football game. Lions kicking that Bear ass for 3.5 quarters.
I mean, it was a close game.
And then all of a sudden, the referees decide to step in, and it was the infamous game.
Maybe you should learn how to hold a pass through a catch.
The problem is that this happens so many times to the Lions that the team has stopped nicknaming these situations because it doesn't even have a nickname. Because it was when Megatron catches the pass, clean, in the end zone, comes down, knees touch, hips touch, elbows touch, shoulder touch, back touches. He's got possession of the ball, rolls over onto his stomach, but because he didn't sign it, put it in a box, deliver it to the post office, ship it to his mom, who then signed the receipt for it, and then who posted it up on eBay so Roger Goodell could see that she actually got it.
This was 10 years ago.
And he rolls over, uses the ball to stand up, and leaves the ball on the ground. Not a catch.
Anyways.
Not a catch. I'm bitter. I'm a bitter person.
Yeah, you are. Just let it go. It was the first game of the season.
Yeah, and I believe the team went 2-14 that year.
Yes. So that means that they would have went 3-13 instead?
Could have turned the entire season around. It was like last year with Trey Flowers getting called for that erroneous, illegal hands to the face when he had his hand in the middle of Bakhtiari's chest. I'm pretty sure we talked about this 2 weeks ago.
I remember it, and I saw it. There was at least 2 or 3.
Destroyed the team's momentum. It's fine, though. Matt Patricia's gone, which is good. Bob Quinn is gone. Okay, we got a front office that at least seems to be competent. We got Motor City Dan Campbell out here biting kneecaps. All right. We're missing a tight end. Because he decided to retire instead of play for Detroit.
I mean, sounds logical.
I mean, for most people, yes. It's going to be a good year, though. It's going to be a good year.
Barry Sanders did it. Megatron did it. Why not?
They at least played.
I'm at least staking that Stafford would have probably done it too.
No.
If he didn't get traded.
If he didn't get traded, sure, he'd probably retire.
Yeah.
And he should have retired. Although, Jared Goff. And you know what? I'm going to drink that Honolulu Blue Kool-Aid now. Jared Goff is going to lead this team to the promised land.
Who is he throwing it to?
TJ Hawkinson?
Anyway, whatever. Let's not spend too much time on football. We're excited. Yes, the season's coming. Yes. But let's not... we got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of stuff to get into.
Because we could stay on football. There is some topics with the football that we could stick with, but I think we're moving on from that.
Yeah, let's move on from that. Let's get into some topics about some nerdism. Because, let's just get into that area. Bitter party of the fat fella. Party of one, huh?
Someone's sleeping on the couch tonight.
Ooh, yeah, it's probably you. Anyways, so we post some questions. I think let's get into something that's a little bit more interactive with the viewers as well too. So in terms of, that question I asked you earlier, if you were to take someone out, erase him out entirely of the Marvel universe,
never existed.
Not killed him off, not anything like that. Just never existed in the Marvel universe.
Mm-hmm.
Who would that be?
Now, are we looking for who would have created the largest impact, or are we just thought experimenting?
Just thought experimenting.
Okay, because I've got two that I think would be interesting.
Okay.
The first would be Wolverine.
Ooh, okay.
If Wolverine never existed,
yep,
we would potentially never have Sabretooth because they were not brothers, they were best friends. And it was canonically their fights with each other is how Sabretooth found out about himself and also where he got his rage, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
But also, his dynamic, the dynamic shift in the X-Men when he joined, made them, I think, a tougher, more formidable team. Especially Cyclops, because he challenged Cyclops as a leader. Mm-hmm. And I think one thing leaders should have is a counterpart that is going to question them on their bullshit. All right. Stone Cold needed The Rock.
Yes. Now, do you believe that he was questioning him on his BS, or he was just sitting there because he wanted Jean? So he was just like, I'm going to just be better than you because Jean should be with me.
I mean, we're not in the mind of Wolverine, so I think we have to just use our own experiences to back this up.
Okay.
And if I think back to my super jealous days.
Wait, do you mean like 5 minutes ago?
That's bitter, not jealous.
I'm sorry.
Jesus, get it right. As a jealous young man with probably more testosterone in me than I knew what to do with, much like Wolverine is portrayed, I think it may have started off with him wanting to get with Jean and then questioning Cyclops after that. Okay. I think his want for Jean created a distrust and disdain for Cyclops, which just permeated the rest of it.
Okay.
So I think you'd be looking at an entire storyline that would be completely different. Now, I'm going to give you a second, though, because that was just my first thought.
Okay.
The one where I think it would actually be really interesting, Professor X.
So we're staying in the X-Men universe.
But
we're going with Charles.
I'm going with Charles Xavier. And I think without Charles,
there's a lot that happens.
This reality, what is it, Earth 323, whatever it is wildly different.
Yeah. So what, you'll have Magneto will probably be some radical power and or leading the whole world. Who knows? Because there's no Xavier to stop him.
There's no Jiminy Cricket on his shoulder.
See, and this is why I don't know in terms of how that can go with Jean. Because in some aspects, he held her back. And in some aspects, he made her worse because he held her back.
See, I think I know where you're going with this. And I'm going to say she never became the Phoenix.
She was going to become Phoenix regardless. She was destined for Phoenix.
I think. And I don't think she was.
Okay.
I think it was because Charles, training-wise, on the surface, held her back. But what he did is he focused her power. He taught her how to focus her power.
Okay.
Now, if you've got, not to sound like George Bush,
oh, Jesus,
but if you've got 1,000 beams of light, and those 1,000 beams are off in 1,000 different directions, the light at its source is strong, but at its extent is weak. Now, if you focused all 1,000 points, you focus 1,000 points of light on one point.
Oh, God.
That's a strong light. And I think Charles teaching her how to focus her power is what got, the Phoenix Force is what got, or the power of the Phoenix is what got them to go, oh, shit. That's it right there. I think the Phoenix would have gone somewhere else. I think at Best, she would have been low level I want to say psychopathy, but that's psychopath. Psychic abilities. At worst, she either blows up Manhattan, or she reads tarot cards.
She reads tarot
and
cards.
Palms. Wow. But I mean, you wouldn't have had the Juggernaut, because the Juggernaut got the power of the Juggernaut because of his jealousy for his brother.
Okay.
So the Juggernaut would have gone to somebody else.
So you're saying that Xavier is the problem?
I'm saying, no, I'm not, because I'm saying without Xavier,
because
we're
you
looking
think
at
about
a very dark storyline.
Because without Xavier, Magneto's running rampant.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing everything he can to get back at every piece of humanity.
You don't have the X-Men.
Yep.
Scott is not confident in his abilities.
Oh, Mr. Sinister's got Scott all day long.
Fuck yeah. Dude, and that's the other thing. Apocalypse would have run rickshaw, because Sinister would have been going after all of these mutants who would have been in the Xavier School for Special Kids. And instead, he's like, hey, come over here. I've got candy and bunnies. Pet the bunny, Lenny.
Sir, I got a cure. And then that cure isn't a cure. But whatever.
That depends on how you look at it.
Well, I mean, his cure was just turning him into a horseman. So
I mean, that's also getting philosophical. Like, what's a cure to some people is a disease to others.
Okay.
We just got deep. Who would you get rid of?
Well, I mean, I was gonna stay in the X-Men, but Jesus Christ.
Fuck it. Keep it there, man. Keep it there.
So I was gonna say, if Apocalypse wasn't there, then
Dare you.
Yeah. Well, I went there. So then I think that there's some dramatic story changes without Apocalypse. Oh, and I'm not used to this right now. I don't know what to do with my hands. But then again, as well too, if Captain, I don't want to say Captain Marvel, because yes, then we have the Rogue situation, and Rogue's not Rogue without Captain Marvel.
Really?
Yeah.
That's right. Rogue got her powers took the powers from Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
At least in the cartoon.
One of the Captain Marvels.
One of the Captain Marvels.
Yeah.
The one with the black and
not
green.
Carol Danvers, the other one. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, no. Because Apocalypse has always been lurking in the backgrounds, always doing stuff to try to make more mutants. So without him being there, it wouldn't be, and I want to say the word sinister, it wouldn't be as sinister in the background for mutants, I guess. You wouldn't have to go and hope that somebody you're talking to isn't a phony. So
he's a phony.
But
do you think Sinister? Now, did Sinister only have that that project because Apocalypse asked him to do it, or would have Sinister been like, "Fucking, I'm gonna create my own army"?
So, yes and no. I think he would still do his whole little Savage Island thing, because that was his jam. He was all like being weird on
So
that
basically
island.
running the Sims.
So yeah, he would have still done that, and he would have still obsessed over Scott and Jean. I think that would have still happened. I don't think he would have done the whole other pieces that he did. That he would have just stayed on the island and then just tried to get Scott and Jean to come to the island. That would have probably been it.
So he'd have just have his own little microcosm of the world, and
Yeah.
you think he'd have just stuck there.
Yeah.
It was Apocalypse. So it was just like, hey,
Yeah. Branch out.
Yeah.
Be you.
branch out. Create the Horsemen of the Apocalypse
Yeah.
so I can destroy everything.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That'd be a very casual conversation. Like, hi, Mr. Sinister? Dr. Sinister. Doctor, my bad. So I've come to you. You do gene editing, right? Yeah, it's my specialty. Okay, cool. I'd like to destroy the universe.
Right?
Tell me more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There wouldn't have been that the virus wouldn't have happened. So you wouldn't have had Bishop coming back in time.
Oh, the whole timeline wouldn't have been fucked up.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have a Bishop. There's no guarantee that Cable would have gotten with Bishop's mom.
No.
That's a butterfly effect shit right there that I think about.
So yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of There's a lot of things. He had his hand in a lot, and theoretically and lore wise, he's probably the first mutant. So
Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a god. He's a god. He's on a mission from God.
Jesus.
Oh man.
So what about you? Anybody in chat? What would you do in terms of if you could erase one person out of the Marvel universe? Who would it be? And then we'll probably move on to some other topics as well too, but we'll keep chat afloating for that.
Just leave them in the comments. You know what? I'm gonna comment that there, so when people come in, they can let us know. Watch this. Watch. Sign into chat. Already signed. You bastards. Whatever. I'm not gonna put it into chat. Fucking YouTube. I'm gonna move my camera though. Look at me, center of the camera. I know how to position things. What's up? So yeah. Now let me ask you this though: who do you think you could remove from from Marvel that would have the fewest consequences?
The fewest consequences?
Who would be the most important person? Because I think we would all just say Jubilee, but who is the most important person you think that you can completely remove from the Marvel universe, and it would have zero consequences? Not zero, but close to zero.
Good Lord.
I have good questions sometimes. I'm on one, remember. I am on one.
It would probably be the Shocker.
No, I'm talking important, though.
He's kind of important. He's part of the Sinister Six, isn't he?
Yeah, but how important is the Sinister Six?
Okay, well, whatever.
He's not Doc Ock.
Oh.
Hell, he's not even Rhino.
Wow. Wow.
He's the Shocker.
I don't know. I can't. That's a good one. Who would you do? Maybe I can dig it up while you let me know, unless you're stumped.
I hate to put it like this.
Okay.
But I honestly believe without Nightcrawler, not much would change.
Wow. But Nightcrawler's so dope.
No, he is dope. That's why it hurts me deep inside.
Okay.
But if
Still
you got
X-Men.
I know. When you're talking Marvel, because yeah, okay, then let's expand, because I don't think you can get rid of anyone from the Fantastic Four. You certainly could get rid of Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
Without shit going completely sideways.
You can get rid of Silver Surfer.
No.
Why not?
He fights Galactus.
And?
Galactus would eat the Earth.
No, you can find somebody else to fight Galactus.
Who would fight Galactus? The Silver Surfer, his powers are literally any of the Fantastic Four. Just after I say none of the Fantastic Four.
Any of the Fantastic
God damn,
Four.
That's rough. Silver Surfer's power, though, I thought was designed specifically to fight Galactus.
No, Silver Surfer's power comes from Galactus.
Same thing.
He is Galactus' scout to find planets for him to devour. So that's the reason why he can fight him. But he's a cosmic being. So you can find any other cosmic being to go fight Galactus. Miss Marvel, Adam, anybody with cosmic powers can fight Galactus.
Oh, man. But how would we be able to market, though, to kids in the 80s?
But that's what I'm saying. That to me, as a important person, per se, but wouldn't have a lot of repercussions, would be Silver Surfer. Because you have other people that can fill in his role.
It's fair. It's fair. And you said that before. Whatever. All right. This chat on this side is slow. I don't know why it takes so long. Okay. Silver Surfer. Fair enough. I don't know enough about Silver Surfer to make the argument against, except for the fact that it's fucking Silver Surfer. All right. Fair enough. Because if we're talking important, now, and I only know them from the movies.
Okay.
But I don't think any of the Guardians you'd be able to get rid of any of the Guardians. Because without Groot, Rocket is off on his own doing whatever. Drax literally kills everybody. He can stand so still that he disappears to the naked eye.
Jesus. Well, first off, I hate to burst your bubble, but this is the second Guardians team. But whatever. Let's keep going.
I know. That's why I said I don't know enough about the comics. I'm going to stick to the movies. Star-Lord, I mean, Chris Pratt is personally whatever. But, I mean, without Star-Lord, you wouldn't have the Guardians.
I thought you were a Parks and Recs person.
I love Parks and Rec.
But you don't like Chris Pratt?
His personal life choices.
Because of, okay, yeah.
I am not a fan of him on a personal level. Okay. Now, his acting is fantastic. Yeah. It's much like Chick-fil-A. I hate their politics. I love their chicken. Do you know they use MSG?
I mean, why wouldn't they? They got to get you to come back.
It's delicious. MSG is delicious. If you hate MSG, I highly suggest you watch the show Ugly Delicious and learn you some. Because MSG is awesome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, you still haven't answered the question. Who of a higher level would you take?
I did. I said Nightcrawler.
Oh, that's right, you did.
Do I need to go higher than that, though?
No.
I mean, because he never really had his own standalone. I mean, he had standalone storylines, but nothing of, like, consequence.
Okay, fair enough.
I will, hold on. All right, I will try to find somebody.
No, we're good. Let
me think of the back of my head.
Good. We don't need to find anybody. You found somebody. You said Nightcrawler. You personally attacked me. Whatever.
Personally attacked me. Oh.
It's fine. It's fair. Whatever.
Oh, man. Fine. Fair enough. In the course of that discussion, though, that we had earlier, it was a private conversation between me and Josh, talking about topics for tonight. You had brought up the idea of a black Superman. And I want to do some additional research into this.
Yes.
I'm trying to track down the comics themselves.
So there was apparently 2 comics that a black Superman appeared in.
Yep. Calvin Ellis?
Yes. Now, right now, I guess whoever is in charge of the Superman movies is talking about possibly putting together a black Superman movie. And I said to myself, at first, I was like, well, why? Because there's I don't follow Superman that closely. I was like, there's no black Superman. Like, the only black Superman you have is Steel. And, Shaq already did that terrible movie back in the day. Why are we trying to rehash that? Because when
was that based off of the comic books?
Yeah, because when you did the Death of Superman storyline, you got the 5 other Superman that came up.
That was 4.
Whatever.
So yeah, you had the Kid, you had Steel, and then you had the other 2 that I don't remember.
Yeah. So they did some iterations, and they were like, okay, well, we're not going to give the black guy powers, but he can go out and try to be Superman.
That is the most 90s thing you can do with a black character, though, is to be like, hey, you don't deserve powers, but here's some animatronic arms.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Here's a steel suit. Here's a hammer.
Right? So, yeah, whatever. But
yeah, there's a black Superman, and I've got the comics here.
Yeah, okay. So,
Action Comics number 9 of the New 52.
Yeah.
And Final Crisis number 7.
Okay. So they both are off this Earth.
Yes.
Supermans.
Yes.
But yeah, no, they never really dive deep into their stories. So it was like a single appearance, and that was it.
So, and both of those series, Final Crisis and New 52, or at least those specific comics, were written by Grant Morrison. I just watched a video about this guy. Yeah. He is a fucking nut job.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, he has gone fucking off the rails. I don't know if he did it with DC Comics, but he has he gets fucking existential as fuck in one of his comic series. But
see, and to me, like 52 Weeks was a good storyline for DC. And then I don't know about the New 52 wasn't really that amazing. It was like, because 52 Weeks and Civil War, those two were kind of like
they're at the same time.
Yeah, coming out at the same time. They were both putting out bangers of comics, and then they both had pretty solid finishes. And then DC was like, "Oh, hey, let's do the DC thing and let's run it again. Let's run it back."
Well, and this is in both of those comic series were like at like right before the explosion of the movies too.
Yeah.
And it was like if you were into comics, there was no better time.
Yeah.
Because my brother got super into Civil War. He bought, I think at one point owned every.
Yeah, he had all the set for the graphic novels.
For the graphic novels, yeah. And it was insane. I remember him showing me when he got the comic where it showed, spoiler alert.
If you don't.
I will do this once we're done with spoiling. So when I put my hand down, the spoiler will be done. But spoiler alert, when Punisher shoots Captain America.
Yeah.
When he showed me that, lost my fucking mind. And then that's when Punisher also took up the mantle of Captain America and then just started killing everybody in like a 20-mile radius. Done. Done with the spoilers.
If you didn't know the Civil War comics by now, I mean, it's been some years.
It's 15 years? 16? But yeah, okay, so Black Superman, though. Mm-hmm. So he's in two comics. Calvin Ellis. And apparently, he is not only Superman, but he's also the President of the United States. He is modeled after Barack Obama.
Yes, I did see that. So, which is crazy. But then, I guess his one of his pieces of his cabinet is Brainiac.
Yes, so it's his
like,
computer.
Yeah, so I was like, wait a minute. So Brainiac is a good guy for you. He covers for you when you're doing your Superman activities. And he's not trying to take over the world? Like, I don't know what's going on there. Anyways, whatever. They didn't get too much deep into it, but then it goes back to our whole case of what we talked about in episode 2. You know, who do you get to replace Superman? And the questions, and I don't want to say the questions, but the rumors and the comments now are saying that they're in talks with trying to get Michael B. Jordan to play the Black Superman.
Yeah, because he had run with that role for a long time.
However, he's still doing Black Panther stuff.
Is he?
Because he's supposed to be in the next movie.
Does his character, Killmonger, my bad. Does he ever turn face, or is he always a bad guy? Like in the comics?
I think at one point he does go like anti-hero-ish.
Okay, so he goes full Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
all right.
Yeah, but so I know he has a deal. I think he has a deal with. I want to say it might be DC to create some Black stories in comics. One of the two, either DC or Marvel. I want to say it's DC, but I don't believe, at least for now, I don't believe he's out of his current MCU deal. So, and I don't think, I mean, yes, Chadwick is gone and whatnot, but I don't think they're going to just let him out of his contract and be like, Disney. Oh, hey, we lost the start to this movie. You can go ahead and bail out. No, they're going to.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, they signed him to one of those iCarly contracts probably. Oh, you're 35 and you want to do what?
Yeah.
Drink in public? Check your contract.
So, but yeah, no. So I mean, that would be a pretty good replacement for Superman if he could pull it off.
He's got the chops. He's got the acting chops.
Yeah, but I don't see that story coming to fruition. Plus, as well too, it's like, why are we now introducing another Superman where you're trying to still build this universe? Like, you guys are still effing it up.
Because DC's a bunch of idiots. They had it.
Yeah.
They had Zack Snyder. Go back. Watch one of our old episodes where we talk about it. I think it's episode 5.
I mean,
4.
You should
5 or 4. One day we're going to get an editor who's going to remember all these things.
Patreon. I don't know.
One day we're going to have a Patreon. I looked into it today. I looked into that. So we have some decisions to make, which is why we haven't actually set it up yet. Well, I haven't set it up because I feel like we need to have a discussion. We need to have like an actual meeting.
A meeting?
We're 7 weeks deep into this. We're getting serious about it. So we got to have like actual sit-down meetings and shit.
Okay.
But okay, so I had a question though.
Yes.
Because you brought up the idea of a Black Superman. Mm-hmm. And that just made my mind kind of just start going down a rabbit hole.
Okay.
Now, thought experiment. We already talked about what Marvel character would you take out?
Okay.
Now, I am going to make one fundamental change to Superman. Nothing else changes.
Okay.
Kal-El is black.
Mm-hmm.
First comic book was Superman. Came out in 1939.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do some backwards thinking into this.
Okay.
He's, 24, 25? When he starts working at the Daily Bugle? The first episode, or the first comic is about him getting his job at the Daily Bugle?
Yeah.
Is it the Bugle? No. Daily Planet.
No,
Daily Planet. Fuck. Fucking this up already. He's like early to mid 20s. Mm-hmm. So which means when he landed on Earth, he's like a 9-month-old. Mm-hmm. So you go back 25 years, you're looking at 19... Fuck, I gotta do math in front of people. 1914? Yes, 1914. 1914, 1915.
Yeah.
So you're talking onset of World War I. Mm-hmm. The Clarks find a black child mm-hmm. in the middle of a field, mm-hmm. in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
In Kansas, yeah.
In Kansas. How does the story of Superman change from that point?
Ooh.
What type of person? Mm-hmm. We can't even say his name's going to be Clark Kent. Yeah. Because doing my research, mm-hmm. the Kents dropped him off at an orphanage. This is a Futurama. Dropped him off at an orphanage and then came back to adopt him. So they originally weren't even going to adopt him or keep him as their own son. Because mm-hmm. a lot of movies, a lot of stories are, they found him and Ma Kent's like, hell yeah, keep him. Mm-hmm. And then he's Clark all of a sudden.
So is this because they had a narrow urethra?
I mean, they may have King of the Hill did. But would they have taken the child?
Yeah. Would
he have just had to somehow survive on his own from that point? Mm-hmm. Would they have taken him in? Would they have taken him to the orphanage? Would the orphanage have taken him in? Would he have ended up somewhere else?
Yeah.
Like, are we talking a child ending up in the system in the early 1900s mm-hmm. who suddenly gets sent off to World War II as Superman with powers that his adopted parents have never taught him to use responsibly, potentially?
Mm-hmm. So we could be looking at... Okay, I see that. That's a darn good storyline. In a DC, if you're listening, if we see this storyline up, we're coming for you.
Writer's credits. I want points and writer's credits.
But that's a darn good storyline. Like, so then, and then what really happens at that point? So, like, does he stay in the army? Does he go to Vietnam? Does he see Dr. Manhattan in Vietnam? Like,
exactly. Does he develop his powers? And does he suppress them to try to fit in with society? Mm-hmm. Or does he say, fuck society? I'm going to do what I want because you can't stop me. I mean, if we're talking a sensationalized version of that generation, that's what the greatest generation right there. The World War II. The ones that fought in World War II. Would he have felt a civic duty at that point to go fight? Would he have even been in the U.S. at that point? If he discovers at like 12 that nobody can stop me physically, would he even still be in the U.S.?
But then we go into, what is it? I can't remember what his Russian name was. If he landed in Russia.
Ooh, I'll look that up.
But okay, so I can see that. So yeah, the Kents find him. They give him to an orphanage. He gets caught up in the system. He learns about how America's treating, African Americans. Does he then go, forget it, I'm out? Does he join the struggle? Does he start, gets on the marches and things like that? Wow, that's a deep storyline, man.
And I mean, and if we're going, of course his name would be fucking Kal-El. His name is always Kal-El. I want the actual, comrade of steel, Jesus. His
Red Sun? I can't remember.
Relatives are Lex Luthor and Lois Luthor? Jesus.
Oh, when he lands in Russia?
Yeah. Earth 30. I don't know, man. It's not telling me a full name.
It's okay. Whatever.
Maybe he keeps the Kal-El name.
No, it's called something else. I can't remember. I know he has the Russian symbol on his chest.
He's the Red Sun. I know that's one of his nicknames.
Yeah.
But he's still Superman. So yeah, I mean, because if we're talking an idealized version, because I started going down this rabbit hole, and my wife went to go help me pick up my truck. We got running boards on it. Mm-hmm. And I'm starting to go mentally down the rabbit hole, and she looks at me, and this is, for those that don't know who I am, telling me to stop going down a rabbit hole is almost physically taxing on me. So I've been holding this in this entire time, which is probably one of the reasons why I'm on one. But like, because I'm thinking, I'm like, well, okay, if we do this like idealized version, mm-hmm. and the Kents, they're from Kansas, but they turn out to be decent people, and they're like, look, there's a baby. Regardless of color or skin, somebody's got to take care of him. Mm-hmm. And they raise him to be that, all-American type. Mm-hmm. And he's in a small community. So you would assume that some fucked up things would happen. Mm-hmm. But if he gets to his 20s relatively unscathed, then you're looking at somebody who may have still have an idealized view of America. And then it would all be the storyline of him having to come face to face with all that.
Yeah.
Because that is one thing that's always a little weird. And I guess not weird, because the comic stopped producing, I want to say, during World War II, because they had to save on paper. So Superman never showed up in Germany or Japan. But, like, would a dark-skinned Superman growing up in middle America, raised by the Kents that we know, mm-hmm. would he feel obligated to join the military? Mm. Would he... Well, and I guess, would World War II even happen in the DC universe? Did Hitler exist in the DC universe? Because I know he does in the Marvel universe.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's some propaganda, maybe, but I don't know in terms of in the comic universe.
Because I feel like... Because then you gotta start to question, because like if he's growing up in middle America, he's in his small community, mm-hmm. first 20, 30 years, he's insulated, and then he goes to Metropolis, mm-hmm. and now he's in the big city. Now he's dealing with all of it.
Yeah.
To my understanding, and I could be wrong on this, but during the 50s, in metropolitan type areas, to my understanding, again, I could be completely fucking off base on this, but it wasn't as much of a strife at that time. But then again, I mean, a black dude working at the Daily Planet probably would have ruffled a lot of feathers, so he had to deal with that. So it would be coming face to face with, this is the America I was raised with, this is the America I'm actually seeing. Mm-hmm. It would have been basically Superman's storyline from the early 2000s, 50 years earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because there was still going to be strife wherever he was, unless, he went, in terms of Metropolis, I guess that would still be considered to be the north area. But even then, still strife happening there. Mm-hmm. I mean, the Chicago fire still happened and things like that, so still happened in the north.
Riots in Detroit still happen. Mm-hmm. You still had the shit going down in, I want to say Hell's Kitchen, but I think that was Italian or Irish mob.
Yeah.
But I mean, Bronx.
Yeah, the Bronx, and yeah. So, anyways, but
all right.
Yeah, no, it's a good topically challenging storyline. Like, how do you write it? How do you bring it to a climax? And how do you finish it? Like, that's wow.
Yeah.
And what topics do you bring in there? Wow.
Because who does he become? Does his mentality ever change?
Yeah.
Because I would assume, just in my creative mind, that he would be the type of person who would meet a Dr. King, mm-hmm. meet a Malcolm X.
Yeah. Would
their assassinations change him?
Yeah.
Or would he...
with things like the Tuskegee Project or the mm-hmm. Tuskegee Experiment or the bombing in
St. Louis.
Not St. Louis. Tulsa.
Tulsa.
Would that affect him where he just goes and,
When did that happen?
says, oh, well, you know what? I guess I'm going to have to, topple over, white supremacy now or what have you. So who knows?
So yeah, put down in the comments what you think. Or hit us up on Instagram. Arena of Audacity.
Oh, gosh.
Don't forget to like and
Here we
subscribe.
go, plugs again.
Comment. Hey man, we gotta get to 100 YouTube subscribers, and now that we have viewers, because I said this in the beginning when we didn't have any viewers that I was aware of. What we need you to do, this is a PSA, is we need y'all to just start creating a bunch of Gmail accounts.
No.
Start linking those to YouTube accounts.
Don't do it.
And start subscribing to this channel because we need to get to 100. We need to get to 100 because at 100 we get to create a custom URL. So we are officially on drive for 100.
We gotta organically grow.
Organically grow? Yeah. This is organic? I'm talking about it.
No, I mean organically isn't the same person doing it like 5 to 10 times. That's not organic. You gotta organically grow so that when we come on for our 100 subscribers, we have at least 50 of them here or 20 of them here and not 5. Because that's not organic.
But we can have a custom URL at that point.
Oh, my God. So meetings need to happen.
Create that account. Create those accounts. Inflate our numbers.
Always trying to cheat. I mean, we gotta make it to the finish line naturally. Sure. Speaking of which, did you see DK Metcalf in the 100-meter or 100-yard dash race?
I didn't see it, but I heard about it.
Yes,
I heard about it.
So he went up against some world-class sprinters.
Yeah.
He came in 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10, however you want to put it, because he tied with the last place guy. But for his size, his mass, and him not really training as a sprinter, he stayed with the pack, which was surprising. Like, he didn't get blown out the door. He started great. He was in, like, maybe 3rd or 4th place when he started. But then, his mass just kept up with him, so he couldn't finish quicker. But, no, it was a good thing. But we're not going to talk too much about that. I just wanted to bring it up because, we said, it's on a finish line or whatever.
It's impressive, and it's worth applauding.
Yeah.
Because that is a good thing, good point to bring up, is anybody that wants to give him crap. I mean, this is a man who spent almost his entire life building a football body. Mm-hmm. So he is building for quick explosion and impact. Whereas these guys he ran against have spent most of their life building long, lean muscles that are designed to sprint and designed to sprint that distance. Yeah. So, no, what he did is hella impressive.
Mm-hmm. And then in terms of just tallness too, you don't see that many tall sprinters because it's not great for that sport.
How tall is he?
I don't know. He's 6 something.
Because I know Usain Bolt is tall, but he also...
But he's very lean.
Yeah, physiologically, he has like... somebody compared his muscle structure to like that of a gazelle, where it's long, but it's snaps. Yeah. It goes.
Yeah. Because you can see it in one of the replays, like his strides compared to the other sprinter strides. Yeah. He's taking 1 step, they're taking 4. Yeah. Because of, how shorter their legs are. Yeah. So, yeah.
It's fair. Congratulations. Good job. Yeah. We're proud of you. I don't even know you. I'm proud of you. Proud as fuck.
I just wouldn't want to be the DB lining up against that speed.
Oh, fuck no.
Because every time you're just like, is this the play he's going to blow the doors off for me? Or... Is this the bumper running, or we're just getting blocked out of field? I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, because and I think he ran like a 10.1 100 meter. Mm-hmm. That's fucking lightning right there. Yeah, so that is greased fucking lightning. Yeah. So
I think you had a good topic that we wanted to get upon that we brought up kind of a little bit last time, but we didn't get into it. Mm-hmm. The 5 stable people.
Yes. Okay, so. If you had a new wrestling organization that you were starting, and you had to get 5 stars, and you can add a tag team in there if you want.
Okay.
Who would you choose? But I'm actually going to change this a little bit.
Okay.
Because I want to think of this in the territory days.
All right.
You need 4 champions.
4 champions.
And a contender for your top title.
Wow.
So you need a top heel,
Uh-huh.
a top face,
Uh-huh.
a top worker.
Uh-huh.
So heavyweight champion,
Yep.
contender,
Yep.
intercontinental,
Yep.
women's, and a tag team.
All right, so running down the list then, I would say my my heavyweight champ. Now, it's heavyweight champ meaning that they're my draw?
Yes. This is your draw, because that's why I said heel or babyface.
Okay, so my heavyweight champ, I would say, would be babyface, and it would be The Rock.
Okay.
I would go with Stone Cold because he is probably the top draw of all time.
Okay.
But The Rock, in terms of him being able to transcend and being able to draw in any entertainment space, is what you need nowadays. You need somebody who can get on the TikTok. You need somebody who can get on the Instagram and be able to push your product.
Shit, I didn't think about that.
So I'm so I will put in The Rock as my top guy, my top draw, my champ.
Now, you're saying Rock now.
I'm saying
which iteration of Rock are we talking? Because I'm opening this up to any generation of wrestler.
Yeah, for sure. I'm saying Rock now because he can still get in the ring now.
Okay, so
I'm saying Rock,
50-year-old Rock.
No, okay, so not 50. Okay, so we'll take it back. We'll take it back when The Rock came back. When he came back to host WrestleMania
10 years ago.
I'll take that Rock because he was still ring ready.
Fruity Pebbles Rock.
Yeah, he was still ring ready. He was still on top of he's still on top of the media world. He's still on top of the movie world. I'll take that Rock.
And that's your champ.
That's my champ.
Okay.
My heel, my up and coming number 1 contender, I would say will be, and you probably hear me out about this. It's gonna be heel turn John Cena. Because John Cena can hang with The Rock, and a heel turn John Cena is still putting seats in if The Rock isn't there.
We've never seen. Well, we've seen a heel John Cena. So you're talking rapping John Cena?
The Doctor of Thugonomics John Cena.
Yeah.
I'm talking after that. I'm talking highest popularity John Cena heel turn.
Jorts still in the jorts, or is he in the cameras?
Five moves of doom. Heel turn John Cena.
That was the perfect time to turn him, and they never did.
Yeah, that's who I'm talking about. That's who I would want as my heel.
So basically the same character, just a dick.
A dick, always aggressive. Like, I want ruthless aggression coming back. That John Cena.
But you can't see him.
See, that's why he's not my draw. Because you can't see him as a draw.
Never there.
But you can see him as the heel. Oh, God. Okay, so, and then you said tag team and intercontinental. So intercontinental will be my worker.
Yeah. Who's your workhorse?
Oh, God. And I guess I would. I think that would probably have to go with the Jericho.
Ooh.
Because Jericho can elevate some talent.
Which generation Jericho?
Lion Tamer.
So, late WCW run.
Late WCW.
Man of 1,001 holds.
Invasion, first undisputed champion Jericho. I'm taking that era. I'm taking the late WCW up to undisputed champion Jericho.
Okay, so man of 1,004 holds up to Y2K.
Yes.
Y2J.
Yes. He's my worker. Because at that point, he was trying to become the next Shawn Michaels. And being in terms of his work ethic, him trying to steal the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my worker.
Okay.
Let's see. Tag team. Oh, I want to say the New Day because they can sell merch, but I'm probably gonna have to go with. Probably gonna have to do Broken Hardy and Brother Nero as my tag team.
Ring of Honor.
Yes.
Or Impact.
Ooh, Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
That's good work.
Yeah.
That's good work.
So that's who I would go with my tag team. You just made the list. That was a little bit later, but yes. So that's who I would go with my tag team.
All right.
They're seasoned. They know how to work the ring. They know how to work tag teams. They've been through some wars in the TLC matches. They can still put it on if they need to. Mm-hmm. So they're good to go.
All right. Women's champ.
Ooh. And this is where it gets tough. Because unfortunately, there's not been a lot of there's been some good times in the women's division or the Divas division, but there's not been some great, yes, Trish Stratus is good, borderline great, but she didn't start off hot.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she's she got really good near the end.
She got really good near the end.
She could hold her own in the end.
Yeah, in the end. Oh, man. I would have to probably give it to Natty because I wanted Brett in my stable, but after I changed Brett to Jericho. So I would have to give it to Natty because that means I still got somebody from the dungeon.
Okay.
I still have somebody who can be able to bring up talent in the back in terms of training and whatnot and putting that work ethic in.
Uh-huh. And
somebody who's very technical as well, too. So I would still need that because somebody would have to help John Cena. so I would bring Natty in as my woman.
If you say Ronda Rousey, I'm gonna scream.
Oh Jesus!
And Kurt, can you do a CM Punk Daniel Bryan tag team?
Ooh.
I don't know if they've ever tagged together. I can't even say on the indies if they had. Becky Lynch. Okay, so I'm gonna get to her in a minute.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go Natalya.
Natalia? Okay. All right.
Do I need a jobber? Or are we good?
You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, get a jobber in there.
Oh, God.
Well, no, you don't. No, because if we're talking territory days, the territory.
Yeah, they had the job. Yeah.
You had, Steve Johansson.
Yeah.
From Mississauga, Mississippi, coming out.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna work a little backwards.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with my women's champ.
Yep.
All right. I've got a couple in mind. I got 3 in mind.
Oh wow. Okay.
Which, Kurt, you read my mind. Because if I want a baby face, I go the man Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Her work right before she got pregnant, some of the best I have seen women look in WWE.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
She was red hot.
Red fucking hot.
Yeah.
If I go heel, though.
Okay.
And this is where I'm thinking. There's 2 that I have in mind.
And if you say Charlotte, I'm flipping this table.
No.
Go ahead.
Because I would flip the table as well. God, the Omni Flare. It's actually a fight between 3, but I have who I would go with. Asuka during her NXT run.
Okay.
Because she's just fucking unstoppable.
Yeah, and they ruined her.
And they did ruin her.
Okay.
All right. Britt Baker.
Okay.
In AEW right now. If you're not watching AEW, we have said this before, you need to do yourself a favor and go check them out. Britt Baker puts on good fucking matches.
Gotcha.
I'm missing a comment apparently.
It's coming.
Okay.
It's coming.
Or Sasha. I'll punt you. No, not Sasha. Britt Baker's doing fantastic work as a heel right now.
Yeah.
But who I'm actually going to go with.
Okay.
And unfortunately, she didn't get an opportunity to have a run in WWE. She had a hell of a run in Impact Wrestling.
Oh, we're going to go...
Awesome Kong.
Awesome Kong.
Awesome Kong.
Wow. Okay.
Awesome Kong. Now, and I understand that there were some Japanese female wrestlers that did the Awesome Kong type monster heel female wrestler thing. But in the modern era, you could not stop Awesome Kong. And that's how I would book her. Okay. If this is a territory, I would have her come in and all of your pretty little girls that the guys come and have the signs of marry me and all that stuff. The ones that they're just like, oh my God, all the 14-year-old boys are lining up to get her autograph and get her picture. Yeah. Awesome is going to fucking tear you apart.
Okay.
And that is how I'm going to book her.
Wow. I thought you were going to go Gail Kim, but
no.
You surprised me there with Awesome Kong.
Gail was a hell of a worker. Gail was a hell of a worker. She did some pretty good work on the mic and Impact. But no, I like because there's a monster female wrestler right now in AEW, Nyla Rose, and they're not booking her as like an unstoppable monster, and I'm waiting for them to do so.
Yeah,
because she's got the size and the intensity.
Okay.
But Awesome Kong brought it.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
I'm going Awesome Kong for my female champ.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Tag team.
Yeah.
Legion of Doom.
Legion of Doom.
Legion of motherfucking Doom.
And I think this is just your nostalgia childhood talking.
It is 100% my nostalgia childhood talking, because Legion of Doom was one of my favorites.
See, and at least back in those days, I wasn't an LOD fan. I was a Steiner Brothers fan.
Ooh.
So,
see,
and I can't trust the Steiners because I can't trust Scott Steiner. So that's why they were my tag team.
He has a 143.4% chance of showing up and taking you down.
So yeah, I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, so the Steiner Brothers, at least in that 80s to 90s run, solid tag team. But then Scott Steiner, you can't trust him.
See, in Legion of Doom, I would book. You're going to see kind of some similarities here. I would book them very similar to Awesome Kong, notably how they were booked, to my understanding, the AWA.
Okay.
They were just the monster team. You
Yeah.
physically couldn't do anything to them if they didn't want you to.
Okay.
There's a story in one of the like origin DVD documentaries that WWE did of them, where they were talking about with Animal, and they were wrestling. I can't remember the team, but it was like an old established team of the AWA, and Road Warriors, they were called at the time, had a job to this team, and they were like, "Fuck that, we're not doing this. These guys are shorter and smaller than us. We're fucking jacked. It's the late '80s. We're on fucking cocaine and all kinds of shit." So they decided to just throw them around the ring until the older guys decided to give up. And Animal's talking about how he's got a guy in an overhead press. And he's like, "The fuck are you doing?" And Animal goes, "Whatever the fuck." Or it was Animal talking about a Hawk, and the Hawk goes, "Whatever I want." And he just fucking throws him. So I'm taking Legion of Doom.
Okay.
I'm going to take their early 90s WWF look and demeanor. But I would book them how they were in the AWA.
Okay.
Just no one's taking my titles. No one is taking the titles from my tag team or my female wrestler.
Okay.
Because they're just too fucking dominant.
Gotcha.
My workhorse.
Yep.
All right. This is going to be rough.
Oh man, I got to go wherever you're going.
This is rough because I got two in my mind.
Okay.
All right. First one would be Daniel Bryan. And I would let him book his own matches.
So you would keep Daniel Bryan as a B+ player.
He's my workhorse player. Because in my mind, when you're talking Intercontinental title, or the NWA North American title, or the New Japan Pro Wrestling Intercontinental title, or any of the secondary titles, my mind doesn't go to modern WWE. My mind goes to mid-90s WWE, where the secondary title was legitimately your
number
workhorse.
One contender.
Yeah, your number one contender, your workhorse guy. This is the guy that can just outwork flat out everybody on the card.
Okay.
So I would want to say Daniel Bryan.
Okay.
But for pure star power.
Here we go. Watch, here it comes.
In his prime, Bret Hart.
Oh. See, and that's why I was thinking too. I was like, okay, well, I can get Bret in there. He can be my workhorse, and I have the other two top guys. Bret will step in when he needs to. He can help out in the back. But yeah. So I see you there.
There's in my opinion, and this could just be my nostalgia glasses coming back on, but in my opinion, he didn't have bad matches until he went to WCW.
No, he didn't.
And to me, that's not on him.
No,
that was on everyone else.
That's on everybody at WCW who couldn't work with Bret Hart or couldn't book it right.
Yeah, because if you couldn't work with Bret Hart, you're a bad wrestler.
Yes.
Bill Goldberg. Don't come at me. I'm sure you're a very nice person. Don't kick me in the head. So yeah, no. So my workhorse, my workhorse guy, my Intercontinental title, Bret Hart.
Okay.
Okay. My number one contender. He is my secondary draw. I have to go with, at his peak, straight edge society CM Punk.
See, I thought you were going to put CM Punk as your workhorse.
Oh.
But that's okay. That's okay. I understand.
So with the top guy, and I'll get to my top guy in a second.
Yep.
But so that is the thing. With my top three, relatively interchangeable.
Okay.
Well, two of them would be interchangeable. CM Punk and Bret Hart.
Yeah.
You could swap back and forth.
Okay.
So if it makes more sense for Bret to go after the title,
gotcha,
you can drop the title to Punk. But in my opinion, Punk is one of the greatest to have ever been on the mic. Said his name for something else.
Ooh.
But Eddie Guerrero.
Latino Heat.
Ooh.
See, and I was staying away from some tragically passing wrestlers.
I know where you're going with that one.
Yeah, so.
Man. Dude, Eddie would be good. See, that's the thing, man. There, you know what? And this is where it's an unfair question because there are so many good talent out there.
Yeah.
We'll have to break this down by generations one of these days.
Oh, for sure.
My top guy, though, of all time, in his prime. All right. The wheeling and dealing, styling and profiling, jet flying.
Ric Flair?
Ric Flair.
When was he in his prime? Like when he was...
Late 70s, early 80s.
You mean after the car crash? Because he was never... like his body was never in his prime. Like,
no, but his work was. Maybe I listened to too much Jim Cornette. I don't know.
No. You're fine. Yeah.
But
so yes, Ric Flair, work-wise, yes, darn good worker, fantastic draw, mic skills during that time untouchable,
unfucking touchable. And could you imagine a prime Ric Flair on the mic against a prime CM Punk? Pipe bomb CM Punk.
Yeah. So my only thing with that is that what does Ric Flair do? Is Ric Flair opening up an OnlyFans? Because Ric Flair would. Prime Ric Flair would.
Sure. You know, Ric Flair do whatever he wants in his prime. Hell, he does whatever he wants now. He's gotten 2 vaccinations. Did you know that?
No.
Like 2 separate vaccinations. Not like 2 shots, but he's gotten 2 separate vaccinations.
I mean, hey, Rick.
He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Stay safe.
Prime, and I'm using the logic of the time that frames that I'm giving. Prime Ric Flair was untouchable. He was. Now, Hogan, probably the first, at least in my opinion, true crossover star.
Yeah.
He 100% brought mainstream America into wrestling.
Yeah.
But if Ric Flair had been, 6 years younger, that'd have been him. Because he was pulling people into the territories. He was getting fucking Georgia wrestling talked about.
Yeah.
All right. He was out there. He was styling and profiling. All right.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, no, Ric Flair is a great choice. I mean, that's my only gripe about it. I can see Rick, if we're talking about making this territory today, Rick's got the OnlyFans up. Rick's probably got a questionable Instagram.
Oh yeah. He's getting Me Too'd.
Rick's probably got some amateur sites going on. Rick is gonna be he's gonna be a handful in the back. Like
he's a character witness at Ron Jeremy's trial.
So yeah, Rick is
Yeah. That's fair. I should have pricked somebody else. Because that's the thing, man. If you're talking like logically and just down to the numbers, and taking personalities 100% out of it. Unfortunately, you'd have to throw Hogan in there because the man dominated in 3 different generations. Rock and roll WWF.
Yep.
Early 90s WWF. Mm-hmm. And Hollywood.
So, did he dominate Hollywood? Now, are we talking like WCW Hollywood?
Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Not him in Hollywood.
No,
but him as him as Hollywood
so,
Hulk
but
Hogan.
Are we talking WCW Hollywood Hulk Hogan?
WCW Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
So did he? Now this is going to be controversial, but did he dominate that because he was able to dictate that more, or did he dominate that because it was a natural progression of what the crowd wanted?
See, I don't even think it was a natural progression of what the crowd wanted, because when he turned heel on Savage, nobody saw that coming.
Yeah, no. So that was to me, that was probably the more polarizing situation that happened during that run.
People cried.
Was his heel turn. Because, Hogan was, it would have been like my Cena heel turn, where the little kids would have been crying.
Yep.
Because it would have been like, this is our hero.
He was great.
Yeah, exactly. He was supposed to be the good guy, but he's not. But then, and I guess that would be my issue where it could be for Cena, which I don't think, in today's world, it probably wouldn't be, because my Cena heel turn would be embraced like Roman Reigns' heel turn.
Oh, yeah. I think so.
But Hogan's heel turn would be, what just happened with him is that he did the turn. It was a great pop, but then, they had to come on and abolish the NWO because it manifested into the NWO show.
If their contracts were under control, WCW would have been able to survive that. But the fact that they were just giving guys carte blanche and millions of dollars to do essentially nothing.
Captain, though, we had the Kate Blanchett.
The what? Kate Blanchett, where we do whatever we want? It's carte blanche. Yeah, I mean they would have survived it had they had smarter contracts. But depending on whose story you believe, I mean, Eric Bischoff knew he was on the out, so he did whatever the fuck he wanted.
Most definitely, but when you let the inmates run the asylum, that's what's going to happen. Like, when you let so much control be taken out, like, the reason that it worked for ECW is because those guys loved that company. They weren't going to destroy Paul Heyman like that because they were brought up, they all came up together in that company.
And it was also not in any sort of disrespectful way.
Yeah.
But for many wrestlers, ECW was a stepping stone. They knew, I create controversy here, I'm going to get signed somewhere else.
Yeah.
Unless you're Matt Bourne. By the way, anybody who's into wrestling, if you have never seen Dark Doink the Clown, Matt Bourne ECW, holy shit. That was the Doink that was in my nightmares.
So I don't know. Maybe that's the topic for another time in terms of Hogan, because he could be a whole 2-hour topic. But yeah, it's just, I don't know if that heel turn with Hogan would have propelled him to heights that he got if he doesn't have as much creative control that he had at WCW.
See, and it's funny too, because it depends on who you ask about the creative control. Because I've seen interviews with Hogan where he talks about how a lot of that was his idea, and a lot of it was stuff that he'd been wanting to do for a long time, and he finally got the creative leeway to get it done. And then I've seen multiple interviews with Kevin Nash where Nash is just like, no, we fed all of that to Hulk. We went to Hulk and told him exactly how to do it. And they were talking about the first, they were trying to explain, they were going to do one of their vignettes, one of the black and whites. Mm-hmm. And they explained, he and Scott Hall explained it to Hulk what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And he didn't get it. He cut an old school pro wrestling, listen here, brother. And they said that they took it back to the editors. And they were like, we sat there for hours cutting and piecing this thing together, because they were like, we did take after take and he didn't fucking get it. And then finally, when we pieced it together and it was sort of how we wanted it to go, and we showed him, he was like, oh, now I get it. And he went back in, he did the promo, and he cut it the way that they wanted to do it, and they started building out that NWO style. So depending on who you ask.
So let's take it a step further then. If none of NWO could control their creative, does Hulk Hogan prosper? Because I don't think he does.
As a heel?
No. Yeah, as a heel.
So you think a heel, listen here, brother, Hollywood Hogan.
Because let's think about it this way.
That's a good point.
Let's think about it this way. When the NWO came to WWE,
yep,
they weren't that hot.
Oh.
But they came in, and they didn't know really what to do with them. They brought back Shawn Michaels to be in the NWO. And then, Hulk came in, and it wasn't like that match between Hulk and Rock wasn't that hype getting into WrestleMania. The match between Stone Cold and Scott Hall wasn't even hype either. Like, that match was garbaggio.
Which is funny because they talk about the Rock and Hogan match now. The revisionist WWE history is insane because they talk about it now as the once in a lifetime, once in a generation.
Yeah, that's how they tried to bill it, but nobody wanted that match.
Nobody wanted that match.
It was WrestleMania. You still had Rock and Austin, your top guys. They should have been together going against NWO, not in separate matches, but whatever. Anyway,
whatever. Yeah. That's a topic we can rabbit hole that motherfucker.
But in terms of the reason why Hulk came back and became popular again is because of that beginning of that match when Hulk basically did a face turn because the crowd was cheering for Hulkamania, not for Hollywood Hogan.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I don't think that a non-creatively controlled by the talent NWO would be as good.
I would agree with you about that. What made them special was also their downfall. Because they were allowed to do whatever they wanted, it allowed them to get too much, and had they just been reined in.
Yeah.
That is, you know what? That Hogan topic is going to have to be one for the future, too. Because I'm looking at the time, buddy.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting a lot over some great topics. We went down the rabbit hole on a lot of them, but, I mean, we tried to get out the NFL early and get our later people into more of the nerdism. So,
yep. So yeah, I think we're gonna call it on that one. This has been the Fat Fella himself, Matt Jones, and Jay Spoon, Josh Weatherspoon, coming to you from the Fatatorium.
Yes, there's multiple named.
Mount Stupid Studios, Fatatorium, however you want to call it.
Jesus.
Put your suggestions in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification icon. Go create your fake Gmail accounts. All good stuff. All right. Once again, I am the Fat Fella himself, Matt Jones. Y'all take it easy.